Yeah, I got you right now.
I'm gonna shoot it to you. Yeah.
Send me the image too. I'll post it right now.
Bet.
Yeah, it's gonna be on YouTube. I'm gonna post it on IG. I'll make it swipe up.
Tuned into the Monday Midsole with your co-host, Molly Mall.
That's not true.
Bolos and
This is the
Jay.
people's rant.
Unboxed F. And Buckeye City Soul. Powered by the usual suspects. It's the Monday Midsole. Let's go.
Yo, this whole lockdown has made me realize how like out of tune I am with electronics, bro. This shit really showing my age, bro.
No, you cool. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Monday Midsole. I am your co-host, Buckeye City Soul, aka Kev, and we have a great show planned for you today. I really don't have any one-liners to start things off with, but I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben? Really? That's what we doing today? All right, what's good, fam? It's your boy Polos and Jays. Excited to be here. We got a great guest. I can't wait to get to him, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Mo.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mo. Running late, apologies, but I'm here, and I'm excited about tonight. Thanks for tuning in a little early, and then we're going to kick it over to Mr. Molly Moore.
Yo, what's going on, suspects? Molly Moore here, leader of the Light Skin Legion. As my fellow co-host mentioned, we got a great show for you today. We are joined by the man, the myth, the legend, none other than JC of Urban Necessities, 2J's Kicks. What's going on, man?
Chilling, family. How you guys doing today?
Doing all right, man. Trying to stay sane in these quarantine days.
For real, same here, man. I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you guys taking time out of the day to have, put up with my shit for a little bit. So, love, man, for real.
Nah, listen, I'm super excited. Suspects, if you don't know, we actually had recorded an episode with JC, I want to say roughly 3 years ago. It's like 2017. It was right after a show. We locked him in. He was in the shop. It was super dope. We just so happened to mess up the first 15 minutes of audio, so that never got aired. But we got a mulligan. It's redemption time, and we got him back.
Yo, it's really been 3 years since we recorded that.
Somewhere thereabouts, 2.5, 3 years for sure. It was 2017.
Damn.
It's crazy, right? Time flies.
Hell, I wasn't even on yet.
Nah, you wasn't even part of the show at the time.
Nope.
So,
Crazy.
Yeah, man, we're gonna start off, and I want obviously this to be an interactive chat. If you got questions, let me know. I'm very familiar with your story, JC, but I think it's something that's worth being shared. So we're gonna start right there, man. Tell us how you got into Kicks.
Well, long story short, I'm originally from Jersey. Winded up making it out to Vegas. It seems like forever ago. And, I had a daughter that I wasn't getting to see as much. And my mom was like, yo, Jay, you need to go to Vegas and be closer to your kid. So she gives me $20 and a plane ticket and tells me to figure it out. So, I figured, I'll hit a slot machine, turn the 20 into like 100, take that 100, find somebody flipping some weed and, break that down and I'll get by, right? But I get off the plane, I see a slot machine, spend it. Like, I ain't even sit down on the slot machine. I wind up losing the 20. And my first 6 months, I'm like homeless in Vegas. So I go from sleeping in parks to panhandling, from panhandling to selling water, you know what I mean? And then I eventually come across some guys that are standing in line for sneakers at Fashion Show Mall. And, I'm asking them like, yo, what are you guys doing? And they're like, yo, we're standing in line for these sneakers. And, back then I was into sneakers, but I wasn't really the guy that like knew my left from my right or why a shoe is worth what it's worth. Right. So I eventually start standing in line for them, start seeing these guys over and over. And then, between standing in line, selling water and panhandling, I get enough money to start staying in weeklies and eventually clean myself up, get a job hop. and like years pass. I wind up getting really sick, starting having seizures. And like most people, I didn't really have my stuff together back then, and I was living outside my means. Eventually, get evicted out of my apartment, car repoed, meet a girl who's now my wife. And really early on to it, I told her I was into sneakers, and we gave the sneaker thing a try like 3 months into it. So first sneaker that we started with was the Area 72 Barkley Posit. We winded up buying like 19 pairs. We sold like 18 pairs in 6 hours. I got to keep a pair, made like $200 profit on each pair, and thought we was on to something. The following week, we like took a L. Like the shoes that I bought really didn't flip, and it was just like a lot of back and forth. Some stuff hit, most stuff didn't. But the whole time, we were building a name. We were building that whole 2J's brand. And we resold for about a year out the trunk. And in 2014, we started Urban Necessities. That's like the shortened, extended, like version of it. 6 years, 5 years in, a brand that I started with my wife and $40. I have $40 to my name when I signed that first lease. We ended up getting a credit card, got approved for like $2,500. That covered the build out. But that brand that started with extremely humble beginnings is a brand that's like generated $64 million in sales in 5 years.
Jeez.
It's crazy.
I'm in the wrong business.
Really is. So
I hate what I do and I don't make as much. But anyway.
Don't say that too loud.
As JC mentioned, he's from Jersey. He and I are actually from the same hometown, Perth Amboy. You don't meet too many people who make it out from there. So
yeah, it's very few and far between, man.
So take us through, I guess, like what the journey's been like for you, right? So you talk about 5 years. Like we just talked about 3 years went by super quick. So, you know, I witnessed at least 2/3 of that. Talk about like when you set it up, kind of some of the struggles or mistakes that you made, things that you would do differently, so on and so forth.
Well, you know, when we started the store, we opened in the raggediest mall in the whole city, right? We opened up in the very first mall that opened up in Vegas, in Boulevard Mall. That mall opened in 1968. But by the time we got around to it, it had been so ran down that the hallway where my store was at had actually been closed for 5 years.
Dang.
My store had been closed for 7 years, and our first 6 months in business, we didn't even have any neighbors. You know how when you're in a mall, like after 4 or 5 o'clock, they cut the lights on, so when it gets dark outside, you could still kind of see. Well, our mall, because we were the only like tenant, they wouldn't even turn that light on. So if you were on the opposite side of the hallway and you were walking around the mall, like you're like, wait a minute, is it really down here? You know, so the first 6 months, no neighbors. We started with 134 pairs of shoes. I think 18 were owned by the store. And out of those 18, I think I only owned 3. And most of those shoes were really like ran down, worn, hand-me-downs that people had given us. And, you know, there was a lot of struggles in the beginning. Like, how are you going to pay rent? How are you going to get employees? Like, you know, from a tax standpoint, like who do we team up with to make sure that we're paying taxes correctly? Like those are all lumps that we've taken throughout the process. But as we've grown and we've learned those best business practices, as we've traveled and interacted with other shop owners and stores, we've kind of, you know, like learned from everybody. We've learned from resellers, we've learned from shops. And, you know, last year we had the opportunity to work with American Eagle for a little bit, and that really helped me. That like opened a whole nother side of business retail that I didn't understand, that we somewhat understand now. So, you know, we didn't have a website the first year and a half that we were open, so we used to do FaceTime appointments. You know, like you would call and you'd be like, yo, I'm a size 10. And then we'd be like, all right, let's set up this appointment. And we'll call you back through FaceTime. And open up this closet door and be like, all right, you're size 10. Check out the 8 pairs that I have in your size. Which one you want? You know what I mean? And then I started posting about the store pretty much in every Facebook group that I'm in. And I think I'm like 800 or 900. I'm in like 800 or 900 sneaker groups on Facebook. And I would just post like, yo, what's going on? My name's Jay. I own this sneaker store. If you're ever in Vegas, we offer 10% consignment. You know, and a lot of people would clown on that. Like, yo, you idiot. I'm in Kentucky. Like, why would you be posting about a store in Vegas in Kentucky? And I never let that bother me because those weren't the people that I was trying to cater to. I understand that all walks of life are into sneakers and all walks of life all over the world come to Vegas, right? So from the very beginning, I knew that we had to make our store get to the strip, and we just had to stack and just keep doing all the Willy Wonka shit that I've done over the years to really grow the brand. And it's been fun, man. It's been a lot of lumps, but fortunately, we've been able to grow it to where people want to wear a shirt or a hat once in a while.
Yeah, I'm waiting on my sweats to come through.
Yo, those sweats are so cozy. Like, they're very, very, very heavy. The ankle part, like the grip is crazy on them. Like, I'm really happy with how the collaboration came out. Yo, another thing we used to do too is like customers would complain at the beginning, like, damn, there was no Uber 4 or 5 years ago in Vegas. Customers would be like, yo, you know, it cost me $50 and I didn't even find anything in my size or this and that, and I gotta spend $50 to get back. And we took that personal. We didn't want anyone to have a negative experience. So if you came down to Vegas and you called the shop and we promoted this, we would come pick you up and take you back.
Damn.
Whether you bought something or not. And like to this day, I still get people that like I still interact with, or they'll post about it like, yo, I picked up Jay picked me up, or this and that, you know. So it's kind of cool, man.
Shoot, you come out the VA?
We kept it within reason, bro. Like if you was from MGM to Stratosphere, which was like about anywhere between 2 to 5 miles from the store. I wasn't gonna go to like Mandalay, you know, LA to pick you up and take you back. Like,
yeah, I remember I had that when I came out there. I had
look, you got somebody. Look, Big Joe's wrote right here. JC drove me and my wife back to the MGM after I visited his shop and bought a pair of shoes.
That's what's up.
So you got people watching it, talking about it.
That's dope.
So from the beginning, we've always like focused on trying to build an experience. Like the way I look at retail is very different than most sneaker enthusiasts or sneaker shop owners or retailers. Like I look at it as, why would I not want to go there? What would cause me to not want to come back? And those are the ways that I've built the brand from the beginning. Like there's no excuses. This has to be an experience where you could justify a 30-minute visit. You could justify paying attention to the 30, 60, 90, whatever amount of posts we put on Instagram. Like it has to be very transparent, you know?
Marcus, you were gonna say something?
No, I was just saying, when I was there, I guess it was about 4 years ago, and I went to visit the shop. I had to pay a taxi to take me over there. That was the only way I can get over there. There was no other way. But when I got there, man, the service that I received was it was amazing. I've never got that in any sneaker store I've ever been in. Everybody was friendly, helpful. I mean, they were right there, attentive. Where, you know, other stores, once you come in, they don't even pay attention to you. So,
the culture's always been like an elitist vibe, right? Like it doesn't matter how much you spend or don't spend. It's like, we don't really care. That was always the vibe. Right. And that's always bothered me, because like when you're paying attention, like when I look at sneaker stores, right? Like we all follow the same shops, Riff, Flight, Stadium, you Truist, whoever it is, whether you know them or not, when you're paying attention to them, whether it's 1 week, a month, a year, years, like you have this like thought process, like, yo, when I go in there, it's going to be a massive kumbaya. Everybody's going to show me love. Every shoe's going to be my size. And that's not necessarily the case. So if you have that negative experience where no one talks to you, and then you go in and you don't find anything your size, or it's difficult to find out the information, why would you want to go back?
Exactly.
Right? So my staff, you know, which started again, it started with family. Like my mother used to work at the store, you know, and it's crazy because my mom, when I first opened the shop, like the first day I opened the shop, she's like, yo, Jay, this isn't going to go work. Go get a real job. She winds up going from that person to being my top sales rep to being a reseller. You know, like it's just crazy how we've been able to change so much of the thought process. And now, like, I don't want to like toot my own horn, but I see a lot of monkey see, monkey do within the industry with what we've been able to do. And I don't say that in a negative way. If you go to my very first videos on YouTube, the first thing I said I was going to do was change the standard of what retail should be for sneaker consignment. And I think we've done an okay job of that. And it's going on 6 years if you want to count this year.
All right. So, I mean, innovative in a lot of ways. I think of just kind of how you dealt with camping, the videos, supplying water, snacks, like always taking care of the people. The machines that brought up a lot of attention. You want to talk on that?
Yeah, so I was the first person to incorporate Keymasters in the sneaker stores. And, you know, it's not something I could trademark because technically you could put anything in it and it's repurposable, right? But when I came up with the concept of the heat locker, it wasn't to make money for me. I wanted it to generate foot traffic. So we always made them extremely fair. And I think that if you look at the amount of winners that we've had since we've incorporated the Keymasters into my brand, I think we've had more winners combined than the entire world has for every machine that's out there. Like, not gassing. And if I'm off by less than 100. That you could like take to the bank. I've never wanted to sell shoes. It was never about selling shoes or making money off of shoes. I wanted to find creative ways, again, to generate foot traffic and to get his shit away. I wanted to create something that, like, if you saw it, it created such an emotion that you're like, yo, I don't care how far this store is. I'm going to jump on a plane and I'm going to go to this store because I'm in a hood mall, in the worst mall in all of Nevada, right? And I'm asking people from all walks of life to come here. So it's gotta be worth the experience, right? And, you know, I think the coolest thing we did with the heat lockers was we went like 120 days straight with at least one winner.
I remember that.
We had one day with 27 winners.
Damn.
I put machines at a quarter. I put plane tickets for 2 to fly wherever you want. I put mags in there. I put anything that makes you say, wow, I put in there. Boxing tickets, TVs, IMAX, like, and not everybody looked at it that way. And I understood that a lot of people were going to like try to emulate it, but that they weren't looking at it the same way as me, and that they were going to use those machines to be a money grab. Right? You got a store only gets maybe 100 people a week or 100 people a month in their store. Of course, the machine's not going to win like mine. Right. My store's seeing thousands of people a week. You know what I mean? So
that's true. I know, like you said, a lot of stores are using it to. There's a spot that in Buffalo, when they first opened up, the whole point was they were using it to make money. The guy was telling me they were making about anywhere from 200 to 250 off the machine, and that's from people not knowing how to work the machine. Like, they would come in, think they know what they do, and then they would just, I'm out. And it was $5 a play, so they were making.
And I get it, I get that, and it's fair. But I mean, how many of you guys have seen or heard stories of me actually paying out of my own pocket when I watch somebody fuck up? Or how many times am I like, yo, keep playing because I think it's close, and then they'll be like, yo, I'm out of pocket, I don't got no more money, and I'm like, fuck it, here. Right. But like when we had that win streak going on, like there was a night that we didn't get a win, and I still had customers in the store, and the mall was closed. I was like, we're not leaving till we get a winner, because I need to post on the gram that we're gonna have that this streak went on. And I went to the back and pulled like $500-600. just so, and I just kept feeding the line. I was like, all right, you get one plane and go back to the end of the line, and we just gonna get this fucking win. Like, it's never been, I don't give a fuck about money, bro. It's never been about that for me. Like, yeah, I needed to get by, but like, yo, I've been able to, over 5-6 years, show myself and all the people that can sign with me and my staff that we can find creative ways that we don't have to be greedy. You know what I mean? And I think that's probably the biggest difference between me and a lot of other shop owners.
Good point, because you're 10%, which is arguably the lowest in the business.
It is the lowest in the business,
right?
But I'll tell you what's
New York.
I'll tell you what's not the lowest in the business is my rent and my payroll. I guarantee you that's like top 3 for sure.
So just tell me about that. Like you pull up in New York, you got prime real estate, you're operating outside of, well, within American Eagle, right? You got Flight Club, Round 2, you got all these spots that are charging 15, 20%, whatever it is. New kid on the block comes through, shuts it down. Like I said, prime real estate. Like, did you meet a lot of backlash? Like, what was kind of went on behind the scenes?
I'll be honest. New York has always been a market that, like, on social media and in person, like, they've shown me a lot of love. I could count on one hand the amount of times people have tried to say some negative stuff to me, or, you know, like, ain't nobody told me I can't go anywhere and make $1, or like I can't eat. Ain't none of that. Like, that's not gonna happen, right? I think the community, the ones that are really into, you really got to be into sneakers to know who I am and who my brand is, because I'm not major leagues. I'm still minor leagues in my eyes. I went on, like you said, prime real estate in New York, right in the middle of pretty much everything. Right in the back of a store with no real representation in the front of the store, and I held my own. Right, it was a learning experience. It's one that if I had to do it all over again, I would. But it also told me that I'm not in a position where I'm ready to have multiple stores and have them running the way that I want. I made money, but I'm not where I need to be to say I got a store in New York, I got a store in Vegas, I got a store here. I'm not there yet. You know what I mean? Like, I just didn't like the vibe of what was going on. Not anything against my staff, the community, my neighbors. Like, we held our own. That store did numbers.
Was it just oh, never mind. Go ahead, Molly. Sorry.
No, go for it, dude.
Was it just a matter of, as far as what you didn't like is, as far as trying to manage the store in Vegas and New York, the distance, and you weren't able to give both stores as much attention as you wanted? Or...
I don't think systematically the store is ready to handle 80 employees and 30,000 consigners shipping items to both stores. Like, it just wasn't. I need to speed it up. I've been working on that. I've been dumping, bro. I've spent more money on systems and upgrading and like, but I'm learning, right? And I learned that I can't sign up for 6-figure a month rent and spend almost 7 figures in IT and think that it's all gonna not fall apart. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, does it suck that I'm like, I had to do a 1-year pop-up? Yeah, I want to still be in New York. But at the end of the day, it's like, do I half-ass and give you 2 stores? Or do I come back, crush it in one? And when I'm really ready, now I know what I need to do and what I don't need to do, and come back and like, New York left me very hungry. Like, very hungry, bro. My ribs are touching again after New York. Like, after I learned what it's gonna take. You know what I mean?
Right. Do you give yourself a timeline on when you might want to have another shop and where you want to have it?
Before I die. Let's just say that. I don't want to like commit and create timelines or dates, especially when none of us know in reality how long we're bogged down with this. and how long till people once we're allowed to go back outside and play, how long before it gets back to normal? I think every month is causing 6 to 7 months of delays in normalcy. So if I'm at a month, and truth be told, like we're hearing September out here.
Damn. What?
So if we're shut down in September, right? And like when sports cuts back on, you still can't go to the games. And when sports cut, like, you know what I mean? Like if the casinos ain't open, the mall ain't going to be open.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then if they're not all completely open, when are the other states going to open? And then when are you going to feel comfortable to jump on a plane and come check us out? We're coming to Vegas. Vegas isn't a necessity. You know what I mean? So it's going to take a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. We kind of had that conversation offline. Like, when do people feel comfortable again to go to, a sporting event where it's 30,000 people,
Yo, I'm reading one of the comments. Somebody said I've been eating long enough to stop being greedy. Keep it real, partner. Give it to the needy. Like, bro, ribs is touching, so don't do it. Yeah. So, man, I don't think there's been a shop owner that's done more for the community than me, and not just. And I'm not trying to sound big-headed or anything like that, but I don't see no other shop owners doing shoe drives, toy drives, canned good drives, and not just for their city. Like other cities, you know what I mean?
Right. But that brings up an interesting point, something that I had jotted down. You got a lot of love coming your way, but you also got a lot of hate. So how do you stay locked in, deflect that, and just kind of, I guess, stay grounded and focused?
I think you really got to focus on, at some point in your age, like in your life, you wind up realizing it's really not worth giving negative energy attention. Do I still get bothered by things people say? Of course, I'm human. Am I as open talking about the negative than I once was? No. Right? Like the way I look at it now, and I've looked at it like this for a while, is that if you're going so far out of your way to become a demoter of the brand or myself, once I flip you, you're going to be my biggest promoter. And I've flipped people that have like gone out of their way and said a lot of crazy stuff about me and my brand. But like, yo, if the worst part of your day is talking about me and my brand, then so be it, bro. Like, I sell shoes. That's the worst part of your life. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. Right. I sleep good.
Because I've been on the live. The clapback is strong.
Well, Joe, that's the Jersey in me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I catch myself sometimes too. Like, damn, maybe you should have bit your. I can't help it. Like, I'm sarcastic. I enjoy. You know what I mean? So, like, sometimes I'll spill out because I got to see if I still got it or not.
I hear that. There were a couple questions coming through, so I want to try to pull some of those. Let me go back. I had copied them down. Chaotic Kicks asked about the sneaker pass.
The sneaker pass. Fill me in.
Fill me in, Chaotic, because I got a question mark next to that too.
It's gonna take
Frankie had a question earlier that was in the beginning. What's the average day in the life of JC? Like before this coronavirus, what was the beginning and the end of your day daily? What did that consist of?
I probably wake up like 6, 7 in the morning, go to sleep like 2.
Damn.
Normal day. Second, I wake up, I grab my phone, I'm reading emails, going through social media, reading comments, like setting up deals, like probably for an hour and a half before I jump in the shower, go to the shop or go to the airport, because the last 2 years it's been like 100+ flights a year. So this is like last year we did 125 flights.
Damn.
You know, and it's a lot of, I don't say this in a negative way, but it's a lot of babysitting. You got to make sure, when we had the 2 stores, I think at one point we had like 80 employees. That's 80 different like attitudes and stuff, and behaviors that you got to make sure are in line and cool and happy, and it's a lot. Okay. But I wouldn't change it for anything, and I say sorry a lot to my kid and to my wife because I was never home. But they understand, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Oh, we got a question here from Cutie Queen. She says, even with the success of the store and expansion of the brand, do you recommend opening a brick and mortar for any folks aspiring to do so?
I mean, great question. I would tell you, learn as much as you can before you feel the need to open a store. A store is definitely a privilege. A store is something that definitely brings different attention to you and your brand. But a store is also something that if you don't have the right people around you, it's going to be very difficult to get away from those four walls. And most business owners wind up getting what's called business disorder, especially at the beginning, where you struggle with allowing other people to do it because you're afraid that they're going to mess up. And then when they mess up, you wind up spazzing out. And then when you wind up spazzing out multiple times, then you start losing employees because your employees don't want to hear you bumping your gums. And then they're scared. They're scared to do stuff on their own because they're always second doubting themselves. And you have to use those lessons where they mess up, which could put you out of business, depending on how big or small the error is, as a learning lesson, and then teach them, okay, here's why I can't have you do it this way, and you got to do it that way, right? Like you learn all of that throughout, you know what I mean? I'm still learning that.
Let me just piggyback off of that real quick because it was a question that I had and you just touched on it. So at what point do you, and I know you probably don't have the answer now, but at what point do you say, you know what, I want to step back and enjoy, I want to run the business or allow somebody else to kind of take over more so that I could spend more time with the family and not do these 100 flights and everything annually? Is there a goal in mind when you say in 10 years, 5 years, I've reached X amount of dollars where I'm going to just kind of step back some and just try and enjoy some of this?
Day one that I opened my business, I told my wife and I told Steve, give me 5 years and I'll change your life. I told them in 5 years that I was gonna have been able to do enough to be done and walk away. I got 2 out of the 3 right. Right? C's works I think C's works maybe 2 days a week. He don't have to work no more. C's does not have to work no more. C's is reselling so crazy and then jumped into real estate and this and that. C's is forever good. Joni works from home. When we first started, Joni used to work 7 days a week, 12 to 15 hours a day. I think Joni's down to working maybe like 3.5 days from the crib. So, but me, I've gotten very consumed with the experience over these years. I'm still having a lot of fun growing the brand and interacting with our supporters. Right. And I don't know, man. Hopefully I could do this another, like in the next 10 years, I could scrape up enough money that I could like legit shut everything off, like shut social media off, like stop having to wear all the crazy shoes and just like disappear to somewhere where there's like no internet service and just like, because I'm telling you, bro, like that's what the end goal is, to completely disappear one day. But I gotta do more. I'm nowhere near that right now.
So I just to follow up on that original question, it was I had to check your page, the kick switch challenge. You had the OVO 11s.
Oh, the trade.
Yeah.
So
or the video. I'll pull it up.
I know what you're talking about. The one with
yeah.
Guys. Mm-hmm. They hit me up super last minute and they're like, yo, Jay, do you have, which one of these shoes do you have? And can you end it with a shoe that we don't got? I was like, all right. I did that in like, we do that, Red, in like 2 seconds, 3 seconds. I didn't want to be the, but those are the homies. So anytime I got them.
All right. So, to that point though, you're gonna be going live tonight. You've been doing a lot of live streams, shedding light on a lot of dope collectors. Talk about that.
Yeah, so I kind of got the inspiration just from watching all these DJs, from watching Mayor, and Mayor's just been breaking necks for like a month, right? And he's probably got like another 6 months worth of shoes that he could break neck with. But I was like, damn, man, this is pretty cool. Like, I think really the one that like really made my ears perk up and like say, oh shit, was Tory Lanez, right? Like, look how much his social media presence,
yeah.
right? And I'm like, damn, man, well, like, forget about making money with this right now. But if I could get, you know, 5,000, 10,000 new people to pay attention to the brand, and even 2% of that winds up spending $1 with me, this is a win. You know, so I started reaching out to people that, like, my list was more like, all right, who's complex not gonna hit up, right? And I say that with no disrespect, right? Who's complex not gonna hit up that I think has a good collection, or has got good energy, or is gonna give me good engagement, or like, you know what I mean? Like, it's overdue. The attention to them is overdue. So, you know, it started with like 4 or 5 people, and then next thing you know, it's like at 60 people, and now we got to do like two a day, and we might have to go to 3 a day. But you know, like I've done. Let me grab. Can you mind grabbing me that list, bro? So far we've had D. Gordon from the Seattle Mariners. I had Benji from Holy Grail. Croatian style from Project Blitz. Josh Rogers, Baltimore Orioles. And Arc 420, who's Perfect Pair's cousin.
Fire Pair, by the way.
Yeah, Jay Collector from Restock Chicago, and then tonight I'm going on with Drew English, but I still.
Oh, Drew.
And then I got C's tomorrow, Roque from Mexico tomorrow. Wednesday I got Conceited and Ballin' Twin. Thursday it's Chris Retro Shop, Scotty Skinner from Soul Supremacy. Friday it's Addict for Sneakers and Chris Smokes. I don't know if you guys know who Chris Smokes is, but Smokes helped Khaled design a lot of the We the Best stuff. Okay. Got all sorts of samples. Nice. I Need Kicks is gonna be on there. Pierre Jackson, P-Town Kicks, the homie A-Rab. I got Dion from Concepts, Bun B.
Damn.
John J. Like, it's just bro, the list is crazy. Like, it's so.
How long did it take to fill that list? And like,
I know, right?
What's the process for that?
From 5 to 60.
Basically it was like, yo, who do I want to see their sneakers? I really want to know how many pairs you got and what your best 5 are, right? And I think that it is, right? You know, but you know, fortunately I haven't had no's yet. Like, I got 2 people that are like, yo, I'm down to do it, but I don't know if right now is the time because of what's going on in the world, and I don't want to look like a dick, which I get. But you know, at the same time, there's millions of people out there that need his content so they could forget the reality, hardships, and the struggles, and that's why I'm doing it. It's not about yo, look at all the
sports.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you get an inside look to people's collections that some of us might not even have access to. Well, that's how I look at it.
Bro, did y'all get to see the one that I did with Croatian stuff?
Mm-mm. I caught a little bit of it. I didn't see like any pairs. It was just dialogue when I checked in.
I hurt my feelings, bro. I'm like, all right, show me your top 5. He bust out a Paris SB, right? Then Paris Dunk. Then he's like, all right, these are in no particular order. The second pair is another Paris Dunk. And now I'm getting to the point, like, I'm getting all like this in the camera, trying to see if there's any differences, if it's a sample, if he's the third pair, another Paris, fourth pair, another Paris, fifth pair, another. So he busts out 5 pairs of Paris. Then he's like, yo, I got another 10, 15 pairs.
What?
Like, yeah, those go for like 40, 50 stacks now, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Shoot.
You know, and then yesterday he flexed like Yellow Lobsters, and there's just been a lot of great shoes. Josh Rogers from the Baltimore Orioles showed like off-white stuff. D. Gordon showed me an Undefeated 4. You know, so there's a lot of great collectors out there, man.
Lord. Let me just stop posting my pics.
You don't let everybody know that's on IG, right?
Yeah, it's on Instagram.
Somebody just asked, so
yeah, so it'll be 9 Eastern time, 6 Pacific. So pretty much after the show, make sure you go check that out.
Yeah, I'm literally right after I'm done with you guys jumping on that stream.
Since Goat and StockX have started to grow, have you seen that affect your business and your numbers?
Great question. I'll say that since Goat and StockX have like really been received as well as they have over the years, they've more than anything have helped me validate the more for less concept, right? We were at 10% because I thought that the prices were too high on sneakers to begin with. Now we have essentially the Kelly Blue Book, right? And you got the red pill and the blue pill version of it. And we have guidelines now. So there's no more buying something solely off of an emotional attachment and saying, yo, it's worth $1,000 because I said it's worth $1,000 and this guy's selling it for 800 or 600 or whatever. You know what I mean? Has it slowed down or has it affected my business in any way? Probably. There's always going to be somebody that could do it faster than you, and you just have to be okay with that. But I think that with what's going on with the coronavirus and all that, those guys are having a lot of issues. I mean, I can't speak for them, but they're not an essential business. So I just don't see how you could allow your normal staff to be in a building conducting normal business. That just isn't going to happen. So I'm seeing a lot of Facebook groups. People are like, yo, I bought this shoe 3 weeks ago. It's still not here. Whereas, they had got it down to like 3-4 days for a lot of stuff. So, we're all learning to adapt, man.
It took me 3 weeks on a pickup not that long ago. I thought I got lost.
My off-whites got here in like 6 days.
It's taking Nike over a week to send out stuff. So
where do you live though, if you don't mind me asking?
Columbus, Ohio.
There's a distribution center not too far from you, so
right.
You know what I mean?
But this one came from Europe because they sent it DHL.
Oh, copy. Yeah.
DHL.
So that's but that's probably why, because DHL isn't having any issues. They're still conducting normal business, but. We've been shut down 27 days. I put a couple packs from New York in the air to Vegas, and we wait a month.
Damn.
I waited a month for
what?
And I had, you don't even want to know the amount of money I had in those boxes, bro. Like half these grays are from waiting on those boxes.
What's your plan moving forward? As far as like business continuity, because obviously like a lot of stuff's in the mall or it's in transit or in storage. So like, I gotta imagine you're itching to get back in some way. Yeah,
I am. It's not so much because I want to go back to work. Because listen, don't get me wrong, I don't mind being at the house like this. This is the longest I've been home for a while. But I have a lot of consigners that are very concerned. I have a lot of consigners that like. They need us to move units for them because we were their main source of income. So I got to wait till non-essential businesses can conduct business again and get them going. This whole Shop 2J's Closet thing that I did was something that I had been talking with Joni for a while and saying, like when I get some free time, I'm going to go through my closet and I'm going to start purging stuff that I don't wear or don't appreciate, as much as I once did. And that first like skim through that we did of my closet, we pulled out 493 items out of the closet. And that's just one closet, and I got 5 closets full of stuff to the brim. So, it's like I'm a hoarder, you know what I mean? And it's like, so we pulled that stuff, and then I had like almost 300 pairs of shoes that I had sitting here at the house that I was either waiting for it to go up in value or for the store to be low on inventory on it because there's shoes that move well. And I'm just like, man, we're shut down for a couple of months. And if I don't post something, all this work that we've done over the last 5-6 years, people are going to be like, forget about it. So that's what I've been doing with Shop 2J's. I've been posting Yeezys. Like a lot of the shoes that I've been posting my losses. I don't even care. Like I'll write that off, right? So you know what I mean? Like I got Yeezys on the site for $200 right now. I got hats, fitted hats that normally $40 to $30. We got 2J shirts at $10 on there. We got, you know what I mean? We got a raffle going on where if you buy an Urban Necessity shirt, you could win $250 cash. I'm going to be doing the live stream at some point. So, you know, and we've done, what, 3 drops, Fred? We've done 3, so it's like Sunday service for us. And we've had over 600 transactions in 3 Sundays.
Nice. Jeez.
And I got that. So it was 3 weeks ago that you
3 weeks ago.
Wow. Okay. Time's going by quick. So that went live. It was what, like noon Eastern time?
It was like 11 a.m. My time, Pacific time. So that's like 2 o'clock.
So it's 2 Eastern time that went live. And then how many hits on the site did you have when you dropped that?
I could tell you right now. Hold on. No, we launched on the 22nd. Let me pull that up. Hold on real quick, bro.
Yeah, so yesterday was our 4th Sunday.
Yesterday was our 4th Sunday, so I'm tripping.
Yeah, we've been locked down that long?
That's crazy.
Let me see. Analytics, reports. He wants to know how many. How about this, bro? I'll just tell you this. Analytics. I've had, since I've launched that site, I've had 77,000 hits.
Damn.
On the site.
I'll be lucky if I have that in 2 years.
That's crazy.
And that's just on some like, I got nothing to do.
Boom.
So even though we've been locked down now for 27 days in Vegas, like me and Red is my general manager for UN, who used to work at Kith in New York and moved out here to Vegas. We've been working like 10 to 14 hour days for 27 days, bro. We're still working.
The grind never stops.
Nope. It's a difference, man.
I got
So.
Oh, go ahead, Maul.
No, go ahead. I got my list, but go ahead.
No. Finish, and then I if we got time, I'll touch
sure?
it then. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Right,
Keep it going.
Right. Well, I was going to ask about the whole Disney Plus, National Geographic, Jeff Goldblum, like that whole experience, how that came about. That phone
I don't
call.
know, bro. I get a email random as hell, like, yo, we want to talk to you in Cleveland. I'm like, why Cleveland?
Hey.
Right? I never know. The email came before notification from SneakerCon. Yo, we're doing an event in Cleveland. You see what I'm saying? So like, it wasn't pieced the way that you think this was pieced, right? So they're like, yo, we want to talk to you in Cleveland. These are the dates. And then like a couple days later, I found out, okay, it's SneakerCon, so they're going to talk to me at SneakerCon. Cool, no problem. I didn't know that it was going to be with Jeff Goldblum till about like 48 hours before, right? So they're like, yo, you're going to be talking to Jeff Goldblum. And I'm like, why does that name sound familiar? And then I'm like thinking, oh, you're talking about the dude from The Fly. Yeah. And they're like, yeah. So then I wasn't in a position to really spend at that event. I didn't go to that event to buy shoes. And while I'm at the show, they're like, yo, we need you to buy something. So I'm like, fuck, man, I didn't bring no money. It's like one of the first sneaker cons that I've come to where I haven't brought any money to buy shoes. So I'm like trying to finagle deals with people. And if you go to that episode, like I'm asking the guy if he'll take a bank transfer. And he don't want to take no bank transfer because, like, truth be told, like, you don't want to pay taxes on it. But I have to report every dollar that goes in and out. You know what I'm saying? So I had to, like, transfer money to somebody so they could give me bro, it was so many extra moves. But I didn't get to see the video till it went live. And, you know, I want to say that it's gotten good reviews because still to this day, I'm getting tagged and people watching it. And for it to be the first episode on Disney Plus, like, bro, if you would have told me 8-9 years ago, yo, Jay, you're going to be on Disney, you're going to be this, that, being from Amboy, I would have been like, bro, come on, man, get out of here. With shoes,
Facts.
you done lost your mind. but it's been cool, bro. He's a great dude. We talked about also. He was with me for like 6 hours. They turned 6 hours in like to 3 minutes or 4 minutes or whatever my clip was with him.
Damn.
So go ahead, Mo. I'm gonna pivot back on something, but go ahead.
Okay. So based on where you started from and where you got to, did you at any point put together some type of business plan on paper to get you from point A to point?
I don't mean to laugh. I get asked that a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
you know. I didn't have one. I didn't really have one till I linked up with American Eagle, bro. Like,
really?
I'm keeping it completely a buck. The business plan was don't fuck up and just keep the lights on. Just keep the lights on. That's been the business. Work till like bills are paid. Okay, I could take a couple dollars. Okay, I could pay myself a flat. Okay, that's been the business plan. Now it's very different. Right. Like now we have like, yo, these are my projections and this and that, and this is what we're trending. And American Eagle cleaned your boy up a lot. I'm thankful for meeting them, but I mean, bro, it's crazy.
That is crazy to go from there to last year, making what you're making with no plan. Like, I'm sitting here always writing out plans, and I'm like, shit, I don't like how.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'd like to like. It's not like I don't go. I'll tell Joni like an example. We'll go to SneakerCon. Yo, Jay, you're going to SneakerCon. How much money you want to spend at SneakerCon?
Right.
Yo, okay, this event's gonna have 5,000 people. I need, whatever the number is, and she'll be like, all right, let me see where I pull this out of, kind of thing. You know what I mean? And we'll do a sale here with shirts or this or run a promo, and we get it. Like we've always. Me and her, I don't think there's ever been anything we've ever been scared of, bro. Like, you know what I mean? When it comes to that.
Yeah.
She's crazier than me when it comes to her. She's
ain't crazy's paying off, so
yeah.
No, it's a great dynamic there.
Exactly.
So what would you say is the biggest misconception about you?
That man, I don't know, bro. I think probably the biggest one is probably gonna be that I got a lot of money, that I'm a millionaire. Maybe on paper, but what my bank account say, I shouldn't be traveling. I shouldn't even. Nah. I don't know, man. What would you say is the biggest misconception with me?
You go flip it back on me. That all you do is drink Monster and eat beef jerky. That's the biggest misconception.
Yeah, people think that I drink Monster to the point where like it's connected through an IV. I probably drink maybe like, if I drink one a day, it's a lot, right? Like you catch me, I don't drink a whole can. When I have a can open, like the second it gets warm, I throw it out and get another one.
Right.
Oh, maybe drink one a day. I guess that's the bouginess in me now.
Pinky up.
This is warm. I don't need this.
And I did, like, I'll keep it a buck. The whole Monster Slim Jim thing started off as a joke on YouTube. I had a conversation with one of the FaZe Clan guys, and he was like, yo, so you got to do stuff that creates like comments in the comment section. You got to do stuff like you got to purposely misspell stuff. You got to say stuff wrong, because that's what's going to create engagement. The more comments, the more the visibility. Excuse me. So I did that like one day just to create like a, what the hell did this guy just do? Where I took a Slim Jim and I dipped it in the Monster. Like I don't walk around out here like a Neanderthal just like shaking my knuckles on the floor, killing Monster cans and inhaling Slim Jims. Like that's not really. But I fed into it a lot, and then it got to I slowed down a lot, because when we started going to sneaker cons, people were bringing me Monsters, and at the end of the show, I got 100 cans of Monster behind me, 500 Slim Jims, and like, bro, I don't eat them like that. I love it. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. I wasn't doing it for a bag or any like, but it's it was just for engagement, and then it's just kind of become part of the whole package, I guess.
And now they're serving free Monster at SneakerCon.
Yo, somebody said I had to stop watching JC's channel because all of that balling had me reevaluating everything I've ever done in my life. So, I would tell you the one thing. Look, I know that it got redundant with me buying on my channel, but I did that because I needed people to understand the benefit and repetition. I started with 0. I started with 1 shoe, and it got to the point where, you know, how many events have I spent 6 figures on? You know, I think we spent $7 million buying shoes last year. It started with one. You see what I'm saying? So forget the money that I spent. Think about all the energy, effort, the repetition, the saving, the conversations, the negotiating, the losses, the hardships, all of that part that gets hits that I can't put in a video because you'll get bored of that. You won't care for that. So you got to see me talk to a guy, yo, how many shoes you got? All right, I'll take your whole tape. Because that's the dumb shit that everybody wants to kind of see, right? But I switched it. Now it's more about taking all the information and stuff that I've learned and like spreading it out to other people.
Right. So I'd say that's probably the biggest misconception then, right? That it all came easy. That it just went.
I mean, it's still a work in progress.
Right. Like people see you now, it's like, oh, well, you know, in a high-end mall, traveling everywhere, spending money hand over fist, the YouTube videos, people forget the journey.
Yeah, man.
See the destination.
People don't see all the employees we got to pay, all the taxes we got to pay. Like, yeah, okay, we out here spending like you ain't used to seeing spending. But again, it's more to just, it's more to show that if my dumb ass could do it, people that are smarter than me, younger than me, more charismatic than me, you know what I mean? Like there's no excuses. If a guy that was eating out of a trash can at one point, or a guy that had his hand out in front of the mall where he got a store at now, could go into a top 10 mall in the United States and generate more foot traffic than almost every store in that mall, in a mall that generates more foot traffic than Disneyland, you should be more than capable to, as long as you put in the correct energy, time, and effort for it. There's no excuses. That's really what my whole story's been, and the whole message has been from day one.
So when's the book coming out?
I don't think I've done enough to justify writing a book.
Man, like, see, there's that humbleness.
The story's always going to be being written, but
yeah, you can always do different.
I'm sure there's plenty of people in this chat that would subscribe to that. See, I mean, people are inspired right now.
People that are in this chat more than likely have watched more than enough content on me that they know the story. I need to get to like whole nother levels, bro. I need to get to whole nother. That man did way more than I probably ever will.
Well, he did more than most people will ever do.
Yeah.
So, to that point, what would you say sticks out? Like past 5 years, everything that's done. Like, give us your top 5, right? Top 5 events that have occurred in the past 5 years. Most memorable, biggest takeaways, whatever.
Damn, man, that one's tough. First one is probably calling my mother and telling her she don't ever gotta work again. Moving her out here. That's one. Man, there's so many, bro. Going into a mall where, like, keeping it a buck, I had to fabricate what we were generating on paper to this mall because we knew that we could make it in there. And when we signed up for that mall, like, we couldn't afford the mall that we went into. And that day that we're opening the store, I'm like giving that Newt Rockney speech to my staff, talking about if we don't generate $100,000 today and $100,000 tomorrow and $100,000 the day after that, like, we're closing the doors in a week. And we blew through that number. Like, that's another one. Spending $500,000 in a day on shoes, like traveling with that type of money, getting stopped at an airport, being looked at like, the hell is you doing? And then like spending it. And then like the countless amount of times that people have been like, yo, because of you, I've been able to change this, or because of you, I started that. Like that never gets old, man. There's just so many moments, bro. Like even, like when we opened the store, I asked Joni C's and myself to write down 5 things that we wanted in 5 years. And to see that both of them have gotten everything that they had on their list. Like for me, it was like a particular watch, Bentley. Like to drive that car the first time, you know what I mean? Like at a light, music blaring, music cuts off, you're at the light and it just hits you, oh shit, I'm in a Bentley. Like, you know what I mean? Yo, you want to laugh? I'll give you an even funnier story with the Bentley. I haven't had a license since I was 16, bro. Damn. And I've lost super. You know how Jersey gives you tickets, and if you don't pay them, it winds up being surcharges, right?
Yep.
Right. So the surcharges get crazy. So the deal with Joni was, Jay, if you buy the Bentley, you have to go pay your tickets off and the surcharges. Ooh. And it was like a lot of money, bro. Like it was a whole nother down payment in surcharges. Damn. So then I go to DMV. They're like, yo, you got to take the test. I take the test, ace it, and then do the driving test the same day. And then like I failed like one thing, but she let me slide on it. I turned into the lane without turning my blinker on when you're making that right turn or whatever. And then I explained to the lady, like I told her my whole story, and I was like, yo, like legit want to kiss you right now because me passing this is allowing me to get a Bentley. You know what I mean? we had the Bent already. I wanted to drive the Bent to take the test drive. But Joni wouldn't let me. She said it was too ignorant.
they probably wouldn't have passed you if you'd have drove that Bentley up there.
She would have passed me because I would have done her a solid, hit the button on the side. She would have got a massage the whole way.
And left a little envelope on the side pocket.
Yeah, man. Life has been really crazy, man, and it's like I've been very fortunate to have a lot of positive moments in my life over the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's what's up.
I'm gonna open it up. I've asked a plethora of questions, so I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit, see if anybody else has questions, see if the chat has anything. It's about 8. It's a little bit after 8:30, so we're gonna let JC go in a little bit, and we're gonna continue on with our normal show. Let him get ready for his IG live again, 9 o'clock. That's with Drew English.
Yep, English Soul.
So a lot of PEs.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I take that back because I gotta ask this question. Being from Amboy, being a Carolina fan, talk to me about what's that? 2 years in a row, visiting and speaking at Chapel Hill.
Crazy. I spoke about this on a live the other day, but long story short, a young man and his dad came into the shop, and you could always tell the people that don't understand when they walk in, right? Because they're like deer in the headlights. What's going on? All these bright lights, all the rap music with the cursing, the kids wandering off, like just touching, feeling like loving everything. And I could tell that the dad was like a little lost, right? And so I go up to his old man. I'm like, introduce myself. I start talking to him, and we somehow get on the conversation of college basketball, right? And he's like, well, yo, I'm a professor at UNC, but I'm a Duke fan. And I'm like, how is that even allowed? You know, so we keep talking. I tell him my story, and he's like, yo, would you be open to telling your story at Chapel Hill? And I'm like, man, I'd be honored to go. You know, I didn't think that anybody, let alone UNC, would care to hear my story. So, you know, we kept in contact, and then he's like, yo, check this out. I could fly you out. You and your wife come down. We could watch a Duke game, which I got to watch Duke lose when they were ranked #1 at home. First time in 16 years that they lost, being ranked #1 at home. I got to there was a shot that was like a 3/4 shot that was hit. That when I looked, I like right before it went down, I looked at the professor and I was like, "Yo, this dude's gonna hit this shot from right about here." And I cut my camera on my phone and legit caught it, like saved it. And then I go and I speak at the class, and I wore my UNC threes, the PE that I got, right? So
Not those.
These.
Yeah. Not these.
Big difference.
Not those.
So we talk. I speak at like 3 classes. They're about like 30 minutes long. And then I get to speak to, his boss. Same thing. And his boss is like, "Yo, I need you every semester. I need you once a semester, every semester." So this year I go, and same thing. I get to go to a game. We're sitting like right behind the commentators for the game. I got Cole Anthony DMing me that he sees me walking in because I was wearing such a loud ass jacket. And I got to meet the president of the school. And same thing, president of UNC is like, "Yo, man, like your story's amazing. Like what you've been able to do, like the hope." You know what I'm saying? So now they got me speaking at UNC and Duke. So the next time I go, I'm speaking at both schools. And then the last time that I went, I was telling the story, and like the professor actually had me bring up the fact that I had these UNC threes, and I'm telling the story about how kids got suspended off the team. Like 12 kids got suspended off the team for selling those. And when I'm done with the class, one of the students comes up to me. He's like, "Yo, I was one of those 12.
What size is that?
He was a size 12. I asked him how much he sold them for, bro. He said $500.
Damn.
Oh my god!
That's so common, bro. They let them go
They don't know no
for
better.
like dumb cheap.
They don't know no
rip.
better. They don't know no better.
Nope.
But it's like it was crazy, man. Like just to go around the history and get it from a professor's standpoint, it was, and from like the school standpoint, not just you. Let me drive through Rutgers and shit and be like, "Okay, this is that, this is that." You know what I mean? Like it was very different. Never in a million years did I ever think I'd get the opportunity to go to UNC, to watch a game, to be in classes. Like as a kid, like that's where I wanted to go. But I'm a dumbass, and dumbasses don't get to go to school for you know what I mean? So
No, I hear you.
I'll be a dumbass and be where you at. I'm a dumbass every day if you want.
You already a dumbass and you ain't made it.
Listen, man. When the world gets back to normal, that's a trip I got to make with you.
yeah, fair enough. I normally go every January.
Say less. So again, it's just shy of 20 to 9. Any other questions, chat, fellas?
No, man, but thank you for coming through, man. Definitely. Glad to.
No, I'm glad we got a chance to do it again, and we got to do it right.
Man.
I'm curious as to what the audio was from the last time, though. To hear the different 3 years, man.
The dip.
You might have to.
Well, if I had it, I'd share it. Dan had it.
Yeah, he was running it.
I guess the first 10 to 15 minutes he was recording it. I guess he looked up how to do it real quick or whatever, was recording it, but it was only on him. So he was just sitting there like, there was no audio in the first couple of minutes. It's
way more than a couple of minutes. It's like,
because he's on mute and he's just like,
damn.
it's just solely on him. And then like 15 minutes it kicks in and then the interview starts and everyone's speaking. But now I was actually thinking about that.
What are they? Frankie said, "What watch?" I'm simple. Cartier.
He said simple. No,
Yeah,
simple,
right.
sir. Simple is it's fossil. Hold on. Let me
Yeah.
Right. Simple as
Cassia.
Oh, you said Casio. Hold up.
Watch.
We adults.
Are you still averaging 2 to 6 sleep? 4 hours from 2 to 6?
Yeah, man. I'm still getting about like. I mean, I was up at like 6 in the morning today. You know, and I think I went to sleep about 1:30, 2 o'clock. So yeah, it's about the same. A lot less Big Macs, a lot less Monster, but.
Are we eating healthy?
You still eat Big Macs during the?
I've had 1 or 2.
Okay.
I had to try that double Big Mac, bro. I had to try that double Big Mac. That's it. I was losing sleep over the fact that I wasn't going outside and hadn't had one. So luckily, there's like 2 McDonald's within a 3-block radius of me. So
we had a question about what you were doing to try and be healthy, considering lack of sleep and the constant work.
To be healthy, I've been just like the few Monsters that I have been drinking. I've been leaving them in the freezer so they're colder. And I've been trying to drink at least 3 Coke cans a day. I've been eating a lot less McDonald's though. Again, because we're on lockdown.
I had to cut the Monster out. Like,
nah, bro.
it was tough. It was tough.
That's my coffee. Like, you know what I mean?
I had to cut it out though. Like, my wife kept sending
Bustelo?
me clips of stuff, and I was like, all right, look, I'll try this coffee, and I mean, it's still doesn't
Coffee's worse for you, bro. That's what people don't understand.
They were saying the Monster was worse.
But it's not though.
Oh,
in my opinion, it's not because, like, think about you drink your coffee, you put sugar in it.
Black.
Nope.
Ugh. Damn.
Straight black.
Damn, Kev. Fuck is up with
Sit
your
in jail. Hey man, you can drink. Hey, we can drink beer.
Sugar-free creamer.
Drink beer.
Why is it every time you try to make an example out of something or a scenario, it always be the person that be complete opposite? You notice that?
No,
He had
straight
all
like
sides
black.
of
No, because
sugar cream.
I mean, me and Milk don't get along, so you know what I'm saying.
Oh, you wanted them?
Listen, I'm with you though, because I used to do like café con leche. Used to do like super sugary, a lot of cream.
8 packs of sugar, half the cup of cream, and then you're drinking like 3 of them.
Milkshake.
Yeah.
Necking them, like you're drinking 3 in like a 4-hour span. Like that's way worse, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what people
these days though, it's just the coffee.
Even though I don't got this model-like figure that your boy in his head thinks that he has, I walk. Like when I was in New York, I'm walking 15 miles a day. I don't Uber nowhere. I walked everywhere. I don't take no train. I walked. And when I'm at the store in Vegas, I walk like 6-7 miles a day, just pacing back and forth in the store and going to the storage unit and just like checking up on, you know what I mean? So I need the Monster, bro.
Life. That's how you stay healthy. Keep it moving. All right. I hopefully I got everyone's question. I don't want anyone to feel left out. Again, just want to thank you for coming through. Long overdue. Glad we got the chance to make right. Get the mulligan here.
No, I'm glad that the cards laid where they laid and we were able to get it done, bro. I think this was a lot better content for you guys, and for me to be able to spread the word, man. So it means a lot.
Absolutely. So I'll let you go, man. You got 15 minutes to your next show.
Yeah, we're gonna probably keep it a buck. I'm probably gonna cut out here in like the next 5.
No, you can go now, man. We'll let you go.
Go
So
ahead. Go ahead and do your thing.
Grab a bite, get ready, and then I'll pop through. I'll check you out. I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna jump on the live in about 15, and
I'm excited.
And see what college PEs Drew has. He's always hitting me up, but that's not my tax bracket.
Yeah,
bro. Yeah, Drew's the type of guy that, like me, I only talk to Drew like maybe 3 times a year because I can't afford to talk to him anything more than that.
Him and Warren.
But he stayed with too much size 9 PE before stuff dropped. Like he's way too consistent.
Right. He's a good dude too,
bro.
Well,
he's brother. Yeah, he just bought a pair of Wahlberg 4s off me. Hopefully he got a UNC 4 that I can maybe cop off real quick so I could wear it at the school next year.
Nice,
So,
nice. Oh, so you
C4s
gonna have me looking crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to rock a pair of Kyrie's or something. I don't want no socks, no Jordans. But no, man,
bro.
we'll let you go. Stay blessed. Tell Joni we said what's up, and we can't wait till you're back up and running.
All right, guys. Take care, man. Much love.
All right,
Thank you,
brother.
man.
Easy.
All right. Hey.
All right, guys, I'm out too. I'm about to go eat. Y'all take it easy. Have a good night.
I'll kick you
You
out
better
if you
sit
want.
your fat ass down.
I'm hungry, sir.
I'm ready.
always
I'm ready
hungry.
for dinner number 2. You got muted. You muted. Unmute yourself.
Take that. Listen. So we got 15 minutes. Do we want to go into topics? Do we want to debrief that? I mean, we got pretty much open
the
dialogue.
First of all, thanks to D Reynolds, Sneaker Box, Footage Society, Miss DMV Soul, Flash E Hall, Flashy Flash. Appreciate the donations, y'all. Definitely.
I appreciate the chat, supplying questions. Hopefully, you guys, took away as many gems and nuggets. He was dropping a lot of great advice.
Message.
Basically, none of y'all got an excuse to fail. Period. That's
Listen,
Man.
Yeah.
and I've heard the story so many times, and it even still, it's like, wow, like
that's
damn.
crazy.
Still, it'd be like, how? How? Help me.
Yeah, I'm looking at one of the comments. 313 said, this really changed my perspective about
Yes.
you. Met you at a sneaker con. You seemed completely uninterested. This interview gave me a different side of you. Really great interview. I know I've seen JC many times. We've met in person, and I mean, it could have just been one of those experiences where he was busy or whatever, or he had a lot going on. Because the man gets approached all day. But I'm gonna tell you like this. I've met a lot of people in the sneaker culture. I've never met somebody of his stature that's so humble and so cool. I mean, and Mo will tell you, when we were here in Dallas, he came to the hotel. We weren't even expecting to see him, and he came in, and he immediately saw us before he even checked in, came and showed us love. We sat there and chopped it up for about 15, 20 minutes. And I told him, I said, this is our plans for the weekend. He even came out and hung out with us. And drank with us and talked with us and took pictures with people. And I mean, the dude is he's just a good guy. And sometimes, he gets busy, but trust me, if you see him again and come up to him and speak to him, trust me, he'll talk to you, because that's just who he is. Oh, yeah. I mean, him and Jumpman probably two are just the most humble motherfuckers you ever gonna meet.
And matter of fact, he took I think you were there, Marcus, when he took us out to dinner.
No, I missed
there.
that.
He wasn't there. I was there. That was Chicago.
Chi-Town was on point.
Okay, yeah. I mean, he didn't even know us.
We're just chilling outside the hotel. He's like, yo, we about to go out to eat. You guys want to come? So it was him and Buscad.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was maybe like 15, 20 people?
It was about 15, 20
We all go to dinner, and he's like, I got it.
Yeah.
Yup. Paid the whole thing, and they didn't even know us.
Yep.
And it was a steak restaurant.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it wasn't.
We went out.
It wasn't a sports bar. It was like.
It wasn't beat up.
Nah, he didn't. It wasn't Applebee's. He didn't put it was a legit spot, and he was like, guys, ladies and gentlemen, I got it. Like, don't even worry about it.
But I think
that's him in a nutshell.
He's very approachable. I mean, and it's funny because, like, touching on what Marcus said, because same hotel, I ran into him when I was on my way out, and I pulled, me and him were talking, and I was just saying, I know it's got to bother you that, you're trying to chill out and you just getting approached all the time. And he's like, nah, man. He said, it don't bother me at all. He said, if I can, give some inspiration, or, he said, it's the people that make me. So, I mean, he said, how would it look if I didn't give you a couple minutes of my time and you're, buying my stuff and stuff like that. So, I mean, I approached him about some stuff. He gave me his number on the spot. I was like, yeah, here's my number. Give me a call. So, I mean, he's just, and I think like Marcus said, of his stature, he doesn't come off like some people do who aren't even at his stature.
Exactly.
And that's one thing I respect about him. Very humble. So
I'm about to put him on the spot and tell him and ask him who got a better show, us or Full Stars. Son.
Don't do that.
Oh man,
all
y'all
jokes.
crazy.
All
y'all
jokes.
crazy. So yeah.
What did we talk about though? Like we had like a something.
What topics? We were
talking about XFL.
Yeah, well, that just in terms of like the effect of
The corona.
the quarantine and yeah, like that was grand opening, grand closing. Like they didn't have a chance to get off the ground. They had a little momentum too.
Right.
And,
Yeah, that's the thing. They had,
I
you
liked
know,
it.
yeah. I hadn't even
Yeah,
watched it,
listen.
but they had a couple games here. I was actually crazy thing is
people
before the
claiming
corona, I was
teams.
gonna buy a ticket to go to catch the Washington team.
I was gonna buy a Defenders jersey.
Ooh, you going too far.
And Houston was gonna win the championship.
Oh Lord,
No, y'all
Molly,
wouldn't.
if you want to mute somebody, mute that guy.
They had already won every game and whooped every team they played.
No, they
All
lost.
y'all teams.
They had a loss.
No, they didn't.
They were
Houston
undefeated.
did not have. They were undefeated.
Or they want to know?
How many games? They played six or whatever.
I don't know. I think they had like 4, something like that.
They
I know-
almost lost to like the worst team in the league.
And then they came back and spanked them.
That wasn't a spanking.
Look, motherfucker, it's over.
Spanking. We don't care.
What have y'all been up
Prime
to
time.
in the past week? Like with the quarantine, I feel like time in some cases moves super slow. Except when I have to work, that time always seems to fly. But
Who you telling?
I think time's been going fast to me because it feels like it just started and we're already a month into it, and who knows how much longer this is gonna go. So you know, I've been spending a lot of time in this basement, you know, working from home, and then
I wish.
you know, it's tough, man. It's tough because I know my wife is super stressed out because she's still doing her job, and then the baby's here because daycare is shut down.
yeah, right.
So you know, like I feel bad for her. I mean, you know, it's our child, but like she's definitely taking it on the chin.
Bearing the brunt, right.
Yeah. Same here. ×4.
Households there are pretty stressful, right? Everyone's like all up under each other and whatnot.
I mean,
It's yeah.
not here because we got the different levels. So like my daughter is all up in her room, and then now I'm not like Maul and Mo, but it's just segmented differently.
This
You know what I'm
man.
My dude,
You just
my
said-
dude
you just
starts
said
the
levels.
sentence with different levels. Like, there's
Exactly.
levels to this shit.
Yeah, no,
And then
it's
you wanna try to throw
not
me under the
levels.
bus.
It's not wings though. Like it's just like pressed tight together. We just got, you know what I'm
Wings.
saying, different areas. But you know, no, everybody kind of has
Speaking
their
of wings,
own area to get, you know, to get lost in. So it's not that as much. And my mom's here with us too. So, but it's still it works for me. Now you might want to ask them. I'll be down here like.
hello.
Yeah, nah. I'm ready for
you know, to that point. What's next on the lineup?
We got is Tony D. I gotta confirm with him. We got Tony D next week, and then following Cousteau.
Is that Cousteau?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So,
So lock it in, ladies and gentlemen. Taking full advantage of the quarantine. Anyone who has the time to come and chop it up, come chop it up.
Yeah, we'll
And
go on.
if
We'll go
you
on some
don't
off
make
days.
time,
We'll go on some off days if we can fill the team.
Yeah, time permits. Yeah, why not? Let's do it, right? So, I mean, if there's any takeaway from that interview with JC, it's you got to take full advantage of all the opportunities, and for folks like ourselves who, you know, want to put out content but don't necessarily have the time. Granted, you know, Kev, you're still working, I'm still working, Mo, you're still working, Marcus, you're still working, but a little bit easier when, you know, you don't have to commute and stuff. So let's do it, fellas. Listen, I'm gonna close it out and just thank the suspects for coming through and, you know, spending an hour and a half with us. That went super quick. Like I said, I took a lot away from that. Hopefully you did as well. Hope everyone's staying safe. You know, it's definitely crazy out there. A lot of misinformation. So, you know, stay overprotected. You know, believe. I go out damn near wrapped in cellophane. If I could, I'd be out there in a suit. But you know, all jokes aside, you know, stay safe, take care of your families, take care of your loved ones, stay home. You know, only go out when you have to, and you know, hopefully this will be over sooner rather than later. You know, I know Kev got shout outs and everything. Shout out to everyone who promoted the show. We definitely appreciate it. Happy Mamba Day. R.I.P. Kobe.
Kobe.
This March, yes sir, marks the 4-year. Wow. Oh my God, the 4-year anniversary from his last game. Yeah, it's crazy. Where he dropped 60. So I actually did a little something with Shoe Palace, so keep an eye on that. It's a little bit of a Kobe tribute type deal, so that should hopefully come out later on today. I'll be sure to share it. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Make sure you spam them. Drop some comments for your boy. I'm gonna kick it off to Mo.
Keep it short and sweet. Appreciate, of course, the panel as always. Getting me through the week, especially now with the Rona, because man, that
Can I interrupt for a second?
Yeah, you good.
No, Flash, you want to update on the squirrel.
I'm mad at that.
Hey, Melly Mel.
I'm gonna keep it short, and I'm gonna just say the squirrel is winning right now.
God damn.
So after that whole ordeal last week, the squirrel jumped back in my car and built another nest in less than 24 hours. So I went for a walk with the fam on Tuesday. We got back from the walk. We're like, oh, let's check the hood and make sure everything is good. There was another damn nest in there. So we cleared that out, and my wires are completely shot. So car won't start. I could probably splice it and get it to the mechanic so he could do his thing. But at this point, I'm just like, yo, I got to catch this thing. So I got a trap underneath the car. I got a trap in the back. I now know the squirrel. Like by appearance, I know which one it is. There's like how many different squirrels in the neighborhood. I know this one. Just from the sheer fact that
he's got a red hat.
Sized me up. It legit sized me up in my driveway. So like I'll never forget that. And it's chilling in the back. It's mocking me. I got video of it eating an acorn on my deck. Like I'm telling you, me and this squirrel, we have like a legit beef, and it's my mission during this quarantine to catch that thing. So.
Y'all like Bill Murray and the Gopher and shit.
Yeah,
bro, that's basically what it is. I'm about to blow up my whole backyard. But here's the thing, like I have to catch and release it. Like it's illegal to do anything else. I literally have to I can't be aggressive with it.
Yep.
So like nothing. Yeah. Exactly. So I have to be very humane about this. Otherwise, forget about it. It would have been a wrap. I would have chased that thing down the block.
Oh man,
I have to catch and release it X amount of miles away. Like it's crazy, but yeah, and right now Squirrel is definitely winning.
And y'all ain't seen the pictures either. That's the thing. Y'all ain't seen the pictures.
No, you haven't even seen the picture. Like if I show you the pictures, you'll think they're Photoshop. You will legit think they're Photoshop if I show you these pictures. And I have video too. Like
I looked at that nest ridiculous. The first time, like shit, how's this car even starting?
And that squirrel comes out like Dave Chappelle on Wife Swap. He's like, it smells like your mother's lightsaber in here when he had that robe on and that cigarette hanging out.
D-Lo, no squirrel soup. That'll be the next coronavirus that hits the state.
Hey, right. People have been eating squirrels.
People need to stop.
Oh, squirrels some good eating. I've had squirrel.
Yeah, my family eat that.
Yeah, I've had that. Squirrel, raccoon,
chitlins,
all that. Barbecue.
All types
Ooh,
of stuff.
I ain't had chitlins.
He said, whoa. Let's go over the top. We're going to stay with the squirrels.
Listen, man. I want no parts of that. I don't want to see another squirrel another day in my life. But this is the thing. Like, I got mad wildlife in my backyard, whether it's a deer, a rabbit, a groundhog. Like, it's all these things that congregate. Where the hell is the fox? I've seen a fox before. Where's the fox right now when you need one?
Go ahead and get you a badger.
I legit got Noah's Ark in my backyard.
He said
I got a groundhog, but they don't do nothing.
Get you a badger.
He had a sneaker shot with the squirrel photo bombing.
Hey, just make sure you don't get a Wolverine because they never win. Q.
Ouch.
Wow.
Hey. Well,
on that note,
almost made it.
Yeah.
And Chaz asked about the battle with RZA and Primo. Primo won that hands down easily, and he didn't even play his best songs.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
I agree.
I ain't watch it.
I mean, it was long, man. It's kind of hard to sit down and watch.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing. I watched enough.
I looked at it on YouTube, and then I just got I was like, oh man,
overwhelmed.
It's terrible. Like the sound quality was kind of terrible.
Yeah, RZA was in the beginning. RZA,
and I was like, I'm good. So, you know. But anyways, let me go ahead and. No, go ahead, Mo. You were in the middle.
Oh no, I'm good. Yeah. Appreciate y'all.
I Kanye'd him.
Nah, yeah, you good.
First.
I'm good. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and all that good shit. And we'll
Thank you
talk
for
to y'all
coming.
next
God
week.
bless.
God bless you and good night.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do shout outs from IG. First of all, Dominican Coqui, and we got Higher Learning, Big Boy Sneaks 43, Unboxed App,
Hey,
I Am Lars Young, KY Souls, Mike, 313 Retro Queen, Jody Rockstar, and if I missed you, I apologize. I think there was some that came towards the end, but no, definitely appreciate you guys spending some time with us. Hopefully we're able to take your mind off of what's happening outside for a little bit, and hope to see y'all next week.
hey man, Kev, you got them wheat ones? Is that what that is?
Yeah, they're over here.
You're
Dead ass.
You know, Kev buy every damn thing. So I don't know why the hell you ask. That nigga buy every one.
Well, I mean, I'm taking those
Yeah,
out. I'm gonna put the bloodline in.
I was like, wait, you got the wheat ones?
I mean,
Don't feel bad. I got the wheat sixes, knowing damn well I'm never gonna wear those.
I got the wheat sixes too somewhere.
Well, we're not surprised.
Listen, I'm ready to start over. If there's somebody out there in the world, in the universe, that just want to take the whole collection, they can take them, drop fronts and all. Like, I got the original boxes broken down. You can have those
price?
too. I don't give a damn.
What's your price?
Just talk offline. You got to come correct, dog.
What's your all in?
Oh,
You got to come correct.
Man.
All right, well, shout out to the fellas. As Mo and everybody else said, appreciate y'all for holding it down throughout the week and keeping me with a little sanity, because I don't really have anybody. I mean, I live alone, so it's just me. When I don't talk to y'all, I'm not talking to no damn body. I know.
We were talking to the chocolate Easter bunny yesterday.
I don't fuck with chocolate. I don't fuck with bunnies. Unless it's at the Playboy Mansion. I'm the only bunnies I fuck with.
Oh man, he'd probably be there.
I would say go post on the screen, but we don't want to get shut
Oh,
up.
no.
All this work for nothing. That dude's
You
dead.
just-
That guy's dead.
Yeah, that's what Mo was saying yesterday.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yep. Yeah. I guess his manager or whatever was trying to get some, because they're making all this stuff with dude, and he's trying to get some of the money, to go towards the family and stuff. So.
And they had to put him in 2 caskets.
Oh my God, Marcus, please close this out.
Oh, that nigga had a special made casket and shit.
Yeah, that nigga got the Green Mile.
Lord of mercy.
All right, usual suspects, appreciate y'all as always. Y'all came here, y'all showed out tonight. We appreciate all the likes. If anybody didn't hit that like button, please do. We're trying to get some growth here on the channel, and those likes and those comments and all those things like that just help us build and help us grow. So whatever contribution y'all can give us, we appreciate that. And with that, like we said, we got a great lineup, Tony D, Cousteau. So stay tuned, subscribe, like, comment, hit that notification bell and all that stuff so we can see y'all again. Until next week, peace.
Peace.